Got cannoli in the building today. One of the things I want to talk about real quick, I'll start it with this. A music video in 2003 entitled PIMP. It's not supposed to rhyme, but I guess it does. 50 Cent says when standing in front of the Pimp's Legion of Doom and building a case for why he should be granted entry into this legion, that, and I quote, "Whoever said progress was a slow process wasn't talking about me. I'm a PIMP." He then goes on to say that he has the magic stick. Now that doesn't really apply to where I'm going here, but what I do want to touch on is that, well, progress may not be a slow process for Mr. Cent. For most people in the gym, it is. And that's just the truth of the matter. Progress is a slow process. And a lot of people will spend a lot of time searching for ways to speed that process up. And I'm not going to say that knowledge isn't power, because it is. And you do want to empower yourself with as much knowledge as possible so you can maximize your return on investment of time and effort. But at the end of the day, you know, all these progression models, everything you find based on progression, obviously it's designed to make you progress. But the major limiting factor obviously is going to be your effort. The time and effort that you put in. As long as you work hard, you will progress. Old-time strongmen would gauge progression by subjective assessment of how they feel. If a weight that was once challenging no longer is, have you progressed? Obviously the answer is yes to that. Because if you can do something that you couldn't do, something's changed in a positive way. And Scott Abel once said, and I've said this before, that not everything that can be measured matters, and not everything that matters can be measured. And this is a perfect example of that. Where most people's focus ought to be is on doing the things they can control. What can you do every single day, every single hour, to ensure that you're maximizing your time to maximize your return on investment of time and effort? That's all your focus should be on. Should you, go the extra mile and try to learn as much as you can? Yes. But don't obsess and stress over progression models or ways of quantifying progression. Everybody wants results and they want it yesterday, and that's logical, that's understandable. Obviously, that's what most people are here to do. But as long as you put forth the time and effort necessary and you concentrate your efforts in such a way, you will make progress. It will be slow because it's a slow process, unless you're Mr. 50 Cent. So that's one thing I wanted to share. Use subjective assessment of how things are feeling to gauge progression. You don't need to be able to quantify it, although it helps, and it will help with motivation, because obviously if you see the numbers, which don't lie, improving, then you're making progress. But it also doesn't mean you're not progressing if the numbers aren't changing. If things are feeling easier and you could do things that you couldn't do before, you've made progress. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna end it now because cannoli's fucking freezing. Get her to the car, get her home. You like the information, feel free to share. Click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel. Keep bringing you the best.